So I just want to show you some more practice for learning objective D, which is stating the amplitude and period. Now, they've given us an equation in this case, and we know in the equation when it's all on one side, everything for the x is backwards, but for the y it's the same. So the scale change rule on this one is x divided by 4 pi. Now on here, the sign is being divided by 3. That's also the same, by the way, as multiplying it by, if I had a 1 in front of there, multiplying it by the 1/3. So you could say this, you could say that the y is either y divided by 3, or you could say it's 1/3 times y. They both are equivalent to each other. Okay, let's remember, the amplitude is just the absolute value of the vertical stretch or shrink. Well, what's happening here, vertically, it's divided by 3 or times by 1/3. So for the amplitude, I'm just going to say the absolute value of 1/3, or it's 1/3. Which means the humps, when we graph the sine function, if we were to graph this, aren't going to be at 1, they're going to actually max out at 1/3 at the most for their height. Now the period of this function, the period of sine typically goes up to 2 pi is the S shape, so it's normally 2 pi, but what's happening this time, the x's are actually being divided by 4 pi. So I'm going to come in here, you can either divide by 4 pi, or you can multiply by 1/4 pi. So if I take this and divide by 4 pi, what happens, the pi's actually cancel out, and we're left with the number 1/2. So the period of this actually shrinks to 1/2, which is a little different because you have to think more logically about the numbers. Pi is the number 3.14. Now they're just going to 1/2, so they're going to shrink this thing in quite a bit. So you'll actually see the sine function, the amplitude be very low, and the period shrink in. So it's going to be something like that if you had to sketch it. And let's put that the period here is 1/2. This is just more of an advanced example, but it's something that works the same way as the other ones we've looked at.